Hey y'all, my name is Moss and welcome back to my island Wild's End. Today's build is one that I'm really proud of, and it's going to be a goddess shrine in the woods. So this will be kind of a second part to my mystical forest build, like a continuation of that forest and definitely carrying over the enchanted mystical theme. I've got a lot of work to do here, so let's go ahead and get started. So I built this waterfall off camera at like the edge of the library area, and it's gonna be one of the water sources for this water that I'm adding to this area. So my plan here is to kind of have the shrine area be separated off by water, so you have to like hop to get to it. In this build, I was really trying to actually like round off the little bits of land next to the water because I always struggle so much to figure out how to do that, but I think it looks more natural, so I'm really trying to do that here. Yeah, for this initial terraforming part of the video, it's a lot of me just kind of standing around looking dazed and confused and like desperately trying to visualize what I'm doing. Just like the way my brain works, I just have a really hard time visualizing things spatially and like imagining how things are gonna look in real life. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but it makes projects like this kind of difficult to plan ahead of time. And it also makes it basically impossible for me to describe what I'm doing in words beforehand, so you'll just have to see as it unfolds. I'm sorry. You know, I didn't intend to make an island here, but it happened anyway because I can just never resist the urge to make a little island. I found Dobie doing some old man yoga in the square, and I tried to take a cute picture with him, and then he just like straight up took out his phone and ignored me. So another day went by and I did a bit more terraforming off camera just to give room on either side of this bridge to like plant a few trees. And now I'm going to start the cliffs in the back of the area, which will sort of frame and enclose the shrine. Yeah, I eventually decided to push this cliff right up against the edge of the marketplace so that area would be a little bit less awkward, so I just had to dig up some trees. I wanted the area on top of these cliffs to be wide enough that I could plant a good amount of trees because I wanted like a lush backdrop to the shrine. That's something I find hard sometimes about building on cliffs, especially in the very back of the island like this. It's like creating a background that isn't just like blank sky, because I want it to really feel like you're in the middle of the forest, you know, and there's like greenery all around you and like surrounding and enclosing everything. Does anyone else feel like the area you're working with looks huge before you actually start building, and then once the build really gets underway, you feel like you're working with approximately 2 square inches? Because that's like really the struggle for me in this build. Yes, I am just gonna let these streams fall off the back of the island and forget about them. It's fine, we can just ignore it. Where are they going? Don't ask me. Okay, quick note here. It has been brought to my attention that my custom design app in previous videos was what you might consider a mess, which is true. And so I did try to reorganize it a little bit and make it better for anyone who's like bothered by the disorganization. So hopefully it's a little bit better. But you know, if you have a really messy, chaotic design app, I see you, I feel you, and you're valid. Also, this custom design literally got stuck under the bridge. I didn't even know that could happen. So I time traveled forward 3 days, I think, and I went to grab some cherries because I want to stunt some of these trees, especially the ones that'll be kind of obscuring the path and the shrine, because I don't want them to totally block the view, so I'd like to keep some of them a little bit shorter. Before I actually start the decorating, I'm just gonna chat real quick about my plan here. So like, basically the shrine will be centered around some statues and they'll be kind of surrounded by basically as many candles as I can fit into the space. I just had this vision of like a shrine that was just like full of candles and it'll look so cool at night and everything. So I have just packed my inventory with so many candles. I've got like regular candles, bamboo candles, mom's candles, golden candlesticks. I think that's it. But I wanted some wedding candles too, but they're like the wedding stuff is so hard to get on Nookazon. So we will make do with what we've got. All right, so now I'm finally placing the main event of the shrine, which is the beautiful statues. I was originally thinking of just having one statue, and then I considered having three of them and having it be like a triple goddess situation. Like maybe three beautiful statues, or even like two beautiful statues and one valiant statue. I thought that would be cool, but I ended up getting impatient with trying to get them all on Nookazon, and I just started this build with only the two beautiful statues. But I actually really like how they look together, and as I was building this shrine, I was kind of thinking of like lore and mythology around this like these dual goddesses, and I've decided that they're like sun and moon goddesses, and that's why like one is facing forward and more visible, and then the other is like turned away and kind of in shadow. And they're girlfriends also, so just so you know. This is also when I started to truly understand how small a space I had given myself to work with here, and placing all of these little items was quite a challenge. I feel like I kind of built myself into a corner a little bit with this one, but I like how it turns out in the end, even if it's not the most navigable area ever. If you just saw me steal that stone arch from another build because I didn't have the materials to make another one at that very moment, no, I didn't. I do not know why I had so much trouble decorating this tiny island. Please ignore me. Like I said earlier, I really wanted to have like a lush green background to this shrine, but obviously I wasn't able to plant as many trees as I would have liked on these cliffs, so I decided to build a hedge along the back instead. I know it might not look as natural, but I think it helps the cliff edge feel less like stark, and it like adds to the greenery that I wanted, so I'm pretty okay with it. Alright, y'all, that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this goddess shrine build, and I'll be back soon with more videos. Bye-bye!